This will be part 5 and the final video in this series on this old Logan lathe, model 1875. So just to recap for anybody that hasn't seen the previous 4 videos, I've had this lathe in storage for about 5 years, bought it from a good friend. I finally got it out and moved it over here into my shop. It was very dirty, needed a good cleaning, good oiling. So I disassembled it, cleaned everything top to bottom, reassembled it, got it running for the first time in my possession after I installed that static phase converter. So the purpose of today's video will simply be to use it. I'm going to try to make something simple with it, sort of shake out the kinks with the machine and get myself more familiar with it, because I am definitely not a lathe expert. All you machinists out there are probably going to cringe when you see my technique, or lack thereof. As far as what I've got to work with, I've got 3 tailstock chucks. I do have a knurling tool. As far as bits go, these 3 on the left are brand new. The rest of these I found in the cabinet of the lathe. I also bought a small center drill, and I'm actually going to use that in a minute. Unfortunately, the lathe did not come with a live center. I actually found 3 dead centers. That's not ideal for what I'm going to try to do, but I'm going to make it work with what I have. So today I'm going to be attempting to make a small aluminum mallet. Something like that. And I'm also going to attempt to use the knurling tool on the handle a little bit, and I think I'm going to try to turn a different diameter, maybe 3/4 of the way up the stock. Have this be a little bit narrower going into the mallet head. And then I'm going to drill and tap a hole in the mallet head and cut some threads on the rod so it screws in. So that's the plan for today. Let's see what we can do. I think I'm going to go with 7/16/14 for the tap. 7/16/14. I'm going with a 3/8 inch drill. I think that's going to be close enough. So the only critical measurement I have on this whole piece is the diameter of the shaft in this section. So this rod has to be the exact right size so I can cut the appropriate threads in it, so it will thread into the mallet head. So I think I'll start with the mallet head. Let's get this chucked up. I'll get it cut to size, and then we'll face it and turn it down just a bit. Now I'm going to use a different bit. We're going to cut this face. We're going to make it nice and clean. Yeah. Nice and smooth. Okay, I'll flip it around and do the other side. All right, this is our handle. This is the end that's going to have the threads on it, and I'm actually going to back this out a little bit. And I'm going to make a mark where the diameter change will be. Let's say right about there. All right, this one I'm actually going to use the center drill again and line up the dead center with it just to hold everything perfectly in place. All right, so the idea will be to make a little dimple in the end of the rod for the point of the dead center to go in and hold it at the end. I thought about putting a little bit of grease on the tip there inside the dimple, but last time I did it for the mallet head, there didn't seem to be much friction going on, so I'm not going to add any grease to it. Well, I overshot it by about 2 or 3 thousandths, so hopefully that'll be okay. Well, I had to redo this end here where the threads go. I just got it a little bit too small. So we're going to try this again. I didn't turn it down quite as deep either this time. So I'm going to see if I can get the die started. Well, the threads actually look all right. Let me clean the end up with a file and we'll see if it fits. The threads could be a little deeper, but it does seem to fit. And it does tighten down real nice. So I'm going to call that a win. Pretty straight. Okay, let's flip it around, and I want to try the knurling tool on the handle, and we'll go from there. All right, here's the tool. It's got 3 different settings. I'm going to try the most aggressive setting. Not bad. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna step this section down a little bit and then finish the end, and we'll call it done. All right, here's the piece. I'm going to put just a little bit of blue Loctite on the threads. For my first effort, I'm gonna give myself a C+, maybe a B-. It's pretty rough, but as crude as it is, I am proud of it. It's the first thing I've really ever made on a lathe by myself. And I'm actually gonna keep it around and use it. The only real mistake I made was the diameter of the tip up there where it's supposed to thread into the head. The second time I got it right. But yeah, that was quite a learning experience. Well, the lathe works great. That static phase converter is working like a champ. I don't even know it's there. But I have a lot to learn about this. So if you have any tips or pointers for me, please put them down in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching. This was a fun series of videos to do on this lathe. Something a little bit different, something a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I always like to try to learn something new. I hope to see you on the next video. I'll get back to more of the typical content, antique cars and stuff, and tractors. Take care, everybody.